Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 37th season of Survivor. David vs. Goliath. The season just ended last night, and so, and there was only a couple of spoilers in here for those of you who haven't seen the finale yet, who TiVo'd it and recorded it. For those of you who I want to say right up front, Nick won Survivor season 37, but overall, I think this was a pretty good season for Survivor, and one of the few decent seasons they had in a while. Because the premise was pretty good for the premise of this season, and the premise was they took people who were underdogs their whole lives, either the way they were brought up, the way they didn't get any breaks or whatever in their lives, and so forth. They're called the Davids. And of course, people who had breaks, who either been physically strong their whole life, who have been successful in one way or another, they were on the Goliath tribe. And I should mention they actually did have a celebrity on this season. I know when Survivor first started back in 2000, for the first early years of the show, they always wanted to do like a celebrity Survivor show, have celebrities do the show. Over the years, they have a couple of them sneak through there. Most notably, Lisa Whelchel from The Facts of Life, who made it all the way to the end. She didn't win, but I think she finished like in second place on the show, second or third place on the show. It's pretty damn good. And they also had Jeff Kent on the same season as Lisa Whelchel, former baseball player and borderline Hall of Famer. On the show as well. I think he made all the way to at least to the jury, I think. And of course, he also had John Rocker, which is a disgrace they had him on the show. But for this season 37, they had John Morrison, who, if any of you who are wrestling fans, knew him as John Morrison, part of Eminem, the tag team with Melina Morrison, and I forgot what the tag team partner was. But he was on the show. He made it to the jury. I think it was like the second member of the jury for this season. And they had like 10 people on the jury. But for the show, I think the show ran way too long. I used to like it better when the actual final episode was actually exactly a 2-hour show, and not it was like almost 2.5 hours. The whole show, and they only had like about 30 minutes of a reunion show, which I don't like. I used to like when the reunion show was an hour, and the final episode was decided the winner was 2 hours. I don't mind if it goes like 2 hours or 5 minutes to do the votes, but then at least you have 55 minutes of the reunion, and you can talk a little bit to everybody. But especially the early ones who especially the contestants who got voted out early, like the first 6 or 7 people who got voted out, man, at least the ones before the merge, you could talk to them before it became an individual game. At least you talk to them and catch up a little bit. They did that a little bit here, this time. Last night, reunion show, but for the show itself, I thought it was a pretty good show. They had all the crazy immunities and all the crazy strategy that the Davids were putting up. I thought it was the right moves for them, because when they had the merge, they had like 7 Goliaths and 5 Davids or whatever, so they had to do whatever they can to fight back, and they ended up finding on that beach all these immunities. So all these immunity idols, and they even had one with an idol nullifier, which if they know that somebody is going to play an idol, they put that in, and if any idols pop up, it will nullify that particular idol. And they actually used it, and it worked. And that person who used the idol was the one who was voted out. So that was pretty good strategy there. And unfortunately, everybody thought that Kristen was going to be the one who's going to win the the season this year. The women survived with Davis versus Goliath, but he didn't win. He got voted out. He was like five. I think it was like just before the final five. I think, or the final six, whatever it was. He got voted out, and he says, "Ooh." And I always thought that it's been a long time that a woman has won this show, and the last woman standing. I wish it had been Allison instead of the one that was in there, because she was crazy. She played such a crazy game, and it was enjoyable to watch her. I forgot. I'm sorry, my mind's a blank right now, and my mind is blanked out. But Allison was the doctor on the show. I mean, she was hot. I mean, why can't you get a doctor that looks like that? I mean, she was gorgeous, this girl. But it's a shame that she didn't win. I was actually pulling for her to win. But Nick and the one who won and the other girl that was like actually two other girls that were there. One of them, the one who played the last idol for the season, really idol, and there was no reason for her to play it, but she did it anyway. She just wanted Alice, for some reason. She just wanted her out, and well, if they kept her in the game, and Alice was not exactly popular, they could have beaten her in the final council, but they didn't do that. They just wanted her out so she wouldn't have a chance to win $1 million. But in this position, Alice was there the last one instead of or the other blonde who was kind of cute. And I only seen those two in the final three with Nick, but fortunately that didn't happen. And because it's been a long time since you had a hot woman, a smoking hot woman win Survivor, and I also probably think, because she's a doctor, she doesn't need $1 million. That's also part of the rationale as well, other than the fact that they just didn't like her. I mean, that's part of the game of Survivor. If a person's not liked, they're not going to win anything. And that happens more often than not, except for maybe the first season with Richard Hatch, and nobody liked him, and he won. But he won the very first Survivor. But ever since then, anybody who's like real hated, either they get to the final two. I like the better if it's final two, because the woman there, she didn't get any votes at all. And I think they should start with the final three stuff, and let's go back to the old-fashioned final two. That's my opinion. And instead of having so many jurors, just have like 9, like it used to, like 7 or 9 jurors, and that's enough. But also, like I said earlier, they should also go back to the 1 hour format for the reunion show. I don't know how many of you agree with me on that. Fortunately, you're not going to be able to comment on it because of the stupid drunk of my co-op who ruins everything, and you're not going to be able to comment on this. But it would be fun. It would be fun to go back to the way it was before. So that's my review of Survivor Season 37, David vs. Goliath. Please click on the video. Please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel by rowdyc.com, so WDY.c.com. On the homepage, the Rowdy Reviewer, Christine Moore. And please check out all of his videos on this website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.